Okay, welcome everyone. Congratulations on being top enrollers for the month of October, which is super duper special. I know some people are going to catch the recording. Some people are going to be popping on here in a few minutes, but wanted just to say congratulations. It's a huge, huge deal. So it's just showing that you guys are showing up and working your businesses and helping more people. So that's a win. So I'm excited because my sweet friend Brenda is on tonight. She's going to share some top tips, a little bit of her story, and I'm excited. I'm thinking back to when I first met you. I think it was Leaders Retreat of 2015. You guys were getting on the elevator, and Justin stopped you, and Delvin. I think he and Delvin chatted more, and I was just kind of like, oh my word, there's Brenda Martin. One of those moments. And he was just talking about, a mutual friend that we know and how much his Bible teaching affected his life. And anyways, the rest is history. So Brenda and I were able to train together at Leaders Retreat on the cruise ship last year, and that was super fun. And we got to know each other a little bit better there. So Brenda, I would love if you could just share, well, first, thank you for being on with us tonight. And then I was curious if you could just share a little bit of how you got started, a little bit of your mindset when you started to decide to work it as a business, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to just turn it over to you and you can take it from there.
Oh, well, okay. I'm trying to remember Leaders Retreat 2015. Was that Orlando?
That was Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Leaders. And I saw Molly commented, and all of a sudden it went ding, ding. I think I met Molly in on the cruise, right? Yes. Okay, love it. And wait, just memories. And that is one of the funnest parts about Plexus, isn't it? What we get to experience with friends and all the amazing events and all that Plexus puts on for us. So we get these little family reunions every now and then. Well, my mindset when I was, this is a prayer. We were struggling for quite a few years with health and finances both. And initially, actually, though, when my friend Kristen reached out to me about Plexus, reduced weight loss, and she only told me about the Slim because she was so snobby about products and supplements and ingredients that she hadn't even researched anything else and didn't even recommend anything else. She's just like, I know you want to lose some weight, try this pink stuff. There's people in my area making good money, and I know you guys really wanting to get out of debt. Maybe it's something you could do. Well, actually, she didn't say maybe. She said, I know you could do this. This is something that I think could really answer those prayers I know you've been praying. Of course, and decided, it was just like a light bulb moment one day when I just turned to my husband and I said, I think this is that answer. You know, that big thing I've been praying for, because I literally was. I was praying that God would bring something enough to make that big difference that we needed for our family. I mean, I knew we could work hard for another how many years and pay off debt and just be careful. And I was constantly researching and trying supplements and spending a lot on supplements. And I could just keep doing that, but it was starting to look more bleak, the future. To continue trying so many things and not find anything that helped me overcome my fatigue. I was literally on the couch almost every day or the day. That's just not a fun way to homeschool a large family. And the future for my boys, we have 8 sons that want to dream and do things someday. And both my husband and I were in debt and could never help us out with anything. And they always just struggle. It's all we ever knew. And so I wanted something different for my family. So you guys, I think what I've explained to you is something that's important out from our people who join us. What are their struggles like? I didn't talk openly about these struggles with people. I was loving my life. I was enjoying it. I had friends and I loved getting to know new people and complained to everybody about how bad I felt. I covered up for it so well, in fact, that my own mom, who lived in this area, we would go to her house probably once a week or whatever. She didn't even know how tired I was, because we would go there. I would, force myself to do dishes or whatever and keep myself going all day. And then I'd make the kids clean up before we left the house, and I'd go home and crash at my house. And I didn't ever want her to know, so that she wouldn't be feel like she had to do something for me, because I expected to do half my work. And then we didn't talk about our financial struggles except with friends who knew what we were going through. So that's just two things people don't often unload to you really, really quickly. And so it's important we learn to ask questions, find those pain points in people so we know how to address them. Because all we're doing, guys, is offering solutions. We're not selling something or shoving anything down people's throats. We have something that gives solutions, and we need to find problems there we can offer the right solution for them. But where was I going with this, Megan? Was there some other question you asked me that I'm totally not even on track with?
Yeah, just about how you got started, and then so did you start for the business specifically? It kind of sounds like you did, or did you start products first?
I did a little reluctantly at first. I wanted to experience the products. You know, you hear people talk about this as before I share it with my friends. Although it didn't take me long. I started as a customer. I should be clear with that. I was a customer. It's during that customer time that I used the products. It was only 2 weeks because my husband drank half. And all of a sudden, this bag is gone. It was supposed to last me a month, and so I had to reorder, and that's when I decided to join as an ambassador. But honestly, during those 2 weeks, I spent a lot of time researching and praying, and I knew by the time I joined that I was going to share this with friends. So it really was by the time I actually joined as an ambassador and purchased the welcome pack, I was ready to start sharing. So y'all, I was talking to everybody from day one. I sent like this mass email. Like, I'm just like, everybody's going to hear about this. I sent messages to like all my close friends. I don't even know. I want to say I probably very likely messaged 50 people in that first, I don't know, a couple of weeks or whatever. It took 10 whole days for me to get my first customer. It was agony. And then I didn't go silver for like till the next month. Excuse me. That seemed forever because of the amount of people I was talking to.
So you didn't necessarily fast start silver. That's interesting because I didn't either. It took a couple months, and I wasn't actually reaching out or posting or anything like that. So it's just interesting to hear people's, startup stories. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? Or how you continue. So curious how you help people when they first start. How do you cast the vision for them? How do you encourage them to go silver? Things like that.
Okay, well, as it should with all of you, some of that's evolved. The things that I did in the beginning maybe don't work as well now because our society's changing. Things are changing. That change, we have to take some of that into consideration. But what I find still works is one thing that I did from the beginning, and that is to get someone on a phone call once they've joined. A phone call might seem old-fashioned, but it works because it's or meeting in person would be even better yet. Actually, I do get a lot of them on a phone call to join. And so that's kind of my time to plant some seeds and talk about what if and who they know and things like that. But if they don't, our phone, when they come up for a phone call later, in fact, I say, hey, I have a little bit of time next week, either this day or this day, at these two specific times. What would work best for you to hop on a phone call with me when you can be at your computer with Flex? I can just show you your way around there a little bit and so you can feel comfortable with what you got for $39.95. And when they're at their computer, I take them to show them how to find their subscription and edit that, and we talk a little bit of that and the perks, and it's all positive, right? And then I would show them how to find their site, because most likely once you start getting your results, you're going to think of people who need this, or people are going to ask you what's going on. Here's the website so you can share. You can refer them to me, but I'd rather use the income. Wouldn't that be cool? And then I show them just a few things, but I'm planting seeds about when they talk to people and when they get a customer and it will not keep Plexus. So here, when you place your order, it's going to show what you have in your Plexus wallet, or if you earn enough, you want to make a transfer, let me know. I can help you with that down the road. I'm always putting those ideas. It's called priming. There's actually science behind it. And so it's a way to bless them with something that you would otherwise be keeping from them. And so I always look at it that way. So that's one of the main things I feel that I have done that's been the most successful. That person, ask them their questions and show them the way, the vision.
I like that. Yeah, I feel like I have shifted to more phone calls, even though I don't necessarily love that. It's a little uncomfortable for me, but I feel like I get a clearer picture of what people are dealing with in their health, and also then I make myself ask the question like, hey, what are your thoughts about sharing? So yes, that's a really key point. So I'm curious what you did to go Emerald, and how quickly did you go Emerald, and what did you do to get there?
I see the question that was asked what my color personality is. Isn't it obvious? I'm a red. I always feel like Emerald. Well, guys, you have to remember that from the beginning, my goal was, this is going to blow your minds, but like, I heard of people making $20,000 a month in Plexus, so that's what I was going to do. Somebody else should. So I had this high, lofty, crazy, outlandish vision. Sometimes people call it big hairy goals or something like that from the beginning. And so I think that, looking back, made so much difference on money versus like, well, I'd like to just make 2,000, or I'd like to make a couple hundred, I'd like to pay for my products. I didn't have that mindset. So when people hear my story, they're like, what? You went Emerald in 9 months? Well, yeah, because I was the crazy Plexus mama. So that, if that's not the style you want to do, that is fine. Story, just know that's the mindset and work ethic that I put behind it. So I had heard when I first joined Plexus at that time, and I think it's probably true. I've asked the question here and there, and it seems to hold out. Has between 40 and 50 level ones when they hit Emerald. Personal level ones that they've recruited. So, and I'm going to tell every single person about the business, and hopefully enough of them will decide to build enough of a team to help grow my whole team. So I even remember putting someone to my countdown to 40. And sure enough, you guys, my first diamond was about somewhere around my 40th, 39, 40, 41 person that joined. So keep going, keep talking to people, because if you have that goal, that's just what it takes. Like, I spent a lot of time, well, let me put it this way. I knew I was really busy already. I didn't want to be stuck at my computer and neglecting my family, okay? So in a sense, they all said, oh, it's worth it, Mama, because we want a different life. We want to pay this debt off, and we want a bigger house that we so desperately needed. But yet I wanted to find that balance and something that would work lifestyle, not some crazy over the, just overkill. So when I received my first Plexus Success Kit, or whatever they called it in the beginning, or welcome pack, that little information stuff that came with it, on the refrigerator. And it had like 3 things to do for success. I don't remember what all 3 were, but one said, reach out to 3 people a day. And I'm like, well, I could probably do that. But you know what? Knowing me, I have to pace myself, or I can burn out people a day. I can at least reach out to 2 people. And you guys, I held myself to that. And I worked through my warm market that way. It was always at least 2 a day. I can remember getting ready for bed and remembering that I only talked to one per my computer. I didn't have a smartphone in the beginning. And I would go message that second person before I went to bed, because I was so determined to be consistent and do what I know I could do, even though I was busy. And I was 6 to 9 months of that till I worked through all my warm market. I dug deep back into everybody I went to school with, any place I ever lived, my husband's contacts, I don't know, I just like I don't even know how many people I messaged during that time, but some days it was more than 2, at least 2 every day. I felt for me. And it was. I mean, how many people is that in a month?
Did you do it every single day?
I did, yes, in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, so that's.
Oh, maybe some Sundays I might have skipped, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little, sorry, I lost my my list, my question list. Does anyone have a question that's a curious question? Warm market. Oh, Rebecca's curious about a warm market. That's basically people that you know.
Yeah, and it was 2 new people. It was like 2 people that didn't talk about this. And I minded if it was someone who maybe had a brief discussion, but I never really reached out and explained more and all that. But yeah, it was something like that.
So for someone that's new, or maybe they're not new and they're curious about creating a long-term business, what tips would you have for them?
Well, I feel like I just gave them, but knowing what you have to have a why. I just had someone reach out to me today saying, I've got to do this plexus business. Just tell me how. I want to be coachable. Tell me what I need to do. I've just got to make this work. And so I'm like, well, why? Why do you have to make this plexus business work? Kind of dumb. Like, you got to tell me more than that. I got to hear that passion. I got to hear that pain point. I got to hear why you want, why this is like powerful for your future, because without that it's just a hobby. That's kind of it will be for you. So I would just say know exactly what you want for your future and make sure that what you're doing in your plexus work fits into that, because if it's just just but never doing, that's not going to change your future. And I would say set yourself a monthly goal. Never start a new month not knowing for that month. By the end of that month, here's what to do, and here's the steps I need to do. I'm sure Megan is amazing for giving you guys the steps, the practical. Okay, so I want to have, I'm doing this with some of my team right now. Have an end of the month going for, okay, ranks and re-ranks. And so I made them all tell me exactly how many points they wanted to end the month out. And then we looked at, okay, what's the map going to look like to get to that? Those people, are you expecting yet to get to 100 PV? How many people do you feel like are on the fence that will probably join by the end of the month, especially when we have the Black Friday special coming up? And how many people do you think you personally can, how many people do you think would be interested in going silver? You get all those numbers laid out, and let's say you're needing like 8 people to reach your rank goal. Okay, let's decide who those 8 people are. Work it right down to what it takes. So anyway, set yourself a month of 6 enough have a goal for myself. What else would I say for a long-term business? Trust the process. Just know that you're not going to be perfect. There's like doing it, and that's okay. Take a little break, but never stop. Give yourself some grace, but know that you're in this for the long haul, and you're not just going to be one of those people that when the going gets tough, you're out of here. Business, are you excited about sticking with it? But just for the fact that you're part of something special. You love the people on your team that you've brought in. You feel responsible to help them. Encouraging to be a part of something that so desperately needed in our country. And so why would you ever want to step away and give up on something that's awesome?
Very good. There's a couple questions that came in. Molly's like, can you hear me okay? I feel like my internet's really wonky. She's curious if you reached out first about the business or the products.
That really depended. I would say for the most, I knew how they would take me because I knew them well, and and I'd also see them as somebody who could work the business, I would mention that hand in hand with the products. I mean, to me, you know, you guys know, and with all the products, what do we have? And you want everybody to be in love with the products. Here's what I've always said from the beginning: the best ambassadors are the people who love the products most, or I mean, I said it the other way. Those who love their results are going to make the best ambassadors. So that definitely has to come hand in hand. So I would probably say, you know, 75% of the time I am talking about the products first, but it won't take me long to bring it introduced that way. But there was a handful of people, right, that I knew I had to mention the business right up front.
So it's kind of a opportunity that would lead, like talking about the products as an opportunity to lead you to chatting more about the business with certain people. For people that aren't in the warm market, did you build a relationship first, or did you just drop Plexus? Because there's some newer people to the team who don't have a very big circle of friends, or their Facebook community is really small. So curious your thoughts there.
Well, I would first say, yes, you can grow. If you have a small, she started out with not a huge Facebook presence. But remember earlier I mentioned I dug deep when it came to anybody I possibly ever knew or had contacts. In fact, you guys, I even went door to door in my area. I just went to the neighbors that like we had already talked to or had a relationship with to give them samples. That was my, you know, I just want to say, hey, you guys probably have actually some of them are on social media, but not most of them. If I felt like they were, I would be like, you've probably heard us or seen us talk about. I think this might have even been after I had my Lexus. No, I think it was before, because I remember taking my son's Jeep to some of the places. So I have tons of friends. I don't think I made any enemies doing that. If you do it right, it can be done graciously. But where was I going with that? Oh, if you have a small circle, you can grow it. And I, yes, prefer to build a relationship with people, get to know them well, feel like there's something that we have in common, we have some kind of relationship, definitely to not, hey, I want to get to know you because I care about you and this is why I'm going to share the products with you, not because I just want to get you on my team. So that's definitely been pretty important for me to do that.
Did you ever have a time when you started out that none of your ambassadors were interested in working the business? And did you ever feel like the lone warrior?
Yeah. Yeah, we've all felt that way. I don't know. I felt like it took me quite a while to get a true business builder. Honestly, in the beginning, I had quite a few people who, you know, went silver, who were interested in telling their friends, but my first diamond was like my 40th or 41st level 1, and she, I'm gonna say, I think she was gold, maybe about senior gold when I went emerald. So that was like my highest person under me when I went emerald. So it wasn't like I felt, but I remember Sonia Dudley. She was the one that I listened to. That's all the training I got. Back in the, you know, it was good stuff. And I remember her always saying, you are the best ambassador on your team. If you're wanting a rock star, be the rock star. You know, some people hear the stories of some really amazing worker that just really helps them build their business. Well, that's, yeah, sure, that's awesome. But that's not, it shouldn't be your goal. And if you are not a rock star, you aren't leading the way for a rock star.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Sorry, my internet is so goofy. I hope you guys can hear.
You've been coming through okay, but maybe it's choppy for you.
Choppy for me to hear it.
When I
Are you seeing these comments?
Okay, let me see here. I have a person who may help her close friend. Would you actually help? I would really caution about helping a friend go put people under her, right, to help her out. I've seen people do that and they've always regretted it. The only exceptions maybe have been family, like mothers and daughters or something like that, and help out. For the most part, what happens is this person doesn't value them the same as if they worked for them. They don't value the income. They don't put their soul into follow up. It's all up to you. You'll forever be doing it. Kind of the most simple way I know how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's not sweet and you want to help them out, but I'm just giving you that warning. You can do it, but just know that probably take care of it. I haven't really seen anybody be inspired, like, oh yay, some people were given to me. I'm totally gonna work this now. It doesn't typically work that way. Let's see. 40 to 50 $50. So on application. Yeah, well, like I said, I kept talking to everybody. So tips for duplication. Keep things simple. And that's even when things are coming at you from corporate and from your upline and all this, you can kind of filter some of that out. Page, because there's so much great stuff there and so much good energy, but don't ever feel like you have to do all the things. I don't do all the things. I keep it simple. This is what I do, and then just show her the way. Just keep things really, really simple, because then that's duplicatable. Mm-hmm. And if they feel overwhelmed from the beginning, they're like, man, you do all that stuff. I can never do all that stuff. I don't want to run a business if I constantly have to do 3-day challenges and go be on every Zoom and all that. And you don't want them to feel that way. So just show them, hold their hand. I love John Maxwell's picture of building up leaders under you. And that is, first you show the way, then you show the way you, and then they do it with you beside them, and then they can do it. So don't send them out to do it on their own until you've shown them and you've done it beside them.
Those are great tips. Okay, it is 8:30. We had 30 minutes of Brenda Martin. That was awesome. Thank you, Brenda, so much for sharing your wisdom with us. Really quick before we go, do you mind sharing a little bit of how you work a big business with a big family? There's a lot of moms on this call, and I think that might be a valuable tip before we just pop off here.
Well, that's one of my favorite subjects. First of all, before I forget, I want to say congratulations to all you guys. I understand some of you guys were the amazing earners from October, enrollers or whatever it was. So congratulations, because I know that you've earned this. Okay, big mamas of children at home. One thing that I have people come to me and talk about mom guilt. Like, I just feel being on this Zoom when I should be with my family, working my business, and my kids are like needing me or whatever. I think it's interesting if you would stop and think about before Plexus, when you would be busy. Then you're just like, kids, go turn on a movie or go play outside because I'm busy. We did that before Plexus, but suddenly when it's a Plexus business, we start guilting ourselves. So that's the first mindset I want you to get. But we're always going to be busy with our, if you know this is what you should be doing and they know it, make them a part of what you're doing. Like before Plexus, I was the way I made things. We scheduled out our days. I'm the type of personality I can't be too scheduled, but it was a guide for us. But we were flexible when we needed to be. But in this guide, when the they pulling at me, they want to do this and or want some time with me, I would be like, okay, I'm busy right now. Remember, I have to finish doing this, but in this next time slot, see on the schedule, I will have time with you. So you just wait a little bit and Mama will have time with you later. It's kind of when I work my Plexus business. I tell them, and they know that to this day. I close my office door. If it's really important, you can knock and I'll answer if I can. But when I open the door, then you may come in and talk to me. So they know Mama's not shutting me out. They're busy now, but there's a time coming when we can do our things. And so always reward them with, they're a team. You help out over here. So when I'm done with this, I'm done messaging these people, then I can come and we'll do this together. And so as long as this isn't like you don't care about them, but we're doing this together, and then always reward them for every win. An ambassador joins, everybody whoops and hollers, and you, I don't know, pull out some chocolate chips or something to reward them because they.
That's such a great tip. Those are awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm so proud of you all. I know we have goals to hit for November, and if you're not in that push your thread, make sure you join that because we are celebrating every single win at the end of this month. Thank you for being on, Brenda. So sweet of you to give your time to us, give your expertise and your wisdom and your experience. And everyone, I hope that you have a happy Thanksgiving. Grateful for you all. Have a great night, guys. Bye.